am Judith Kingsbury of SavvyVegetarian.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to cook millet. Now you might be thinking, oh, millet, isn't that bird seed or hippie food? Well, yes, to both of those. And it's extremely nutritious, just as nutritious as quinoa, if not more so. Plus, it is 1/5 the price of quinoa. So, in my books, millet is the new quinoa. The first thing I'm going to do is cook some basic millet. And the way that I like to cook it is to toast it and then add some boiling water, 2.5 cups of water to 1 cup of millet, a little bit of salt, bring it back to a boil, put the lid on, and cook it for 20 to 25 minutes. Now I've got my saute pan heating up and I'm going to stir and toast this millet until it starts to turn a nice golden brown color. Here's my millet. This is the kind of millet that you find in North America, the one that they feed to birds. I've got the heat on medium-high, stirring all the while.
No oil in the pan?
No oil. There's no oil in the pan. I read somewhere that if it starts popping, then you've got the heat too high. Well, mine is popping, so I turned it down a bit. It's starting to turn color now. Maybe a little more. I think this is roasted now. It's not burned, but it's definitely roasted. Yeah. So that is roasted quinoa. That is roasted millet quinoa on the brain here. What I need is 2.5 cups of boiling water. Add a little salt. Just use about 1/4 teaspoon. Add a little water. Put the lid on. Set my timer for 20 minutes.
So you don't bring it to a boil, you just cook it.
You do bring it to a boil. It boils as soon as you put the boiling water in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When you roast it, it cooks up really nice and dry and fluffy.
Nice.
When you don't roast it, it tends to be gummier, which doesn't matter if you're going to use it to make cereal or put it in a stew or something like that. But if you want to serve it with a nice sauce, like vegetables in coconut curry sauce or a mushroom gravy sauce, then yeah, you want it nice and dry and fluffy. And it smells really good.
Does it taste kind of like nutty?
Well, we can taste it and find out.
It needs vegetables and sauces.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like avocado. It almost has no taste at all until you put something with it.
Right.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, it's bland.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Well, quinoa has a real distinct taste.
Yeah.
And some people object to that. But this is not going to offend anybody. It's like rice, you know.
Yeah.
This is just plain cooked millet, no roasting or anything like that. This morning I used it to make some millet chickpea patties. So now this is a millet and mung dal stew. Something quick and comforting and satisfying that you can make for dinner, especially if you have already cooked dal and millet in the fridge. And even if you don't, it just takes 20 minutes to half an hour to cook those things. And you can always make extra. This is my flatbread dough that I make. I use millet flour, oat flour, and a combination of different starches. So in the morning you can make millet porridge. Just use some of this cooked millet and a couple of cups of non-dairy milk, some raisins, nuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
For those of us who don't like oatmeal.
Right.
And chocolate.
Well, yeah, cinnamon. Really pretty versatile millet. You could have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And in many parts of the world, they do just exactly that. And we don't have to do that. We're very lucky here that we have other things that we can eat. But if you feel like you're missing out on quinoa because it's so expensive, hey, just go for millet.
There you go.
Thanks for joining me to make millet. Enjoy your millet whatever, and I'll see you next time.